What would you put in a pasta salad? Other than like salami. Maybe I like black olives in them.
Yeah, just do like a pepperoni kind of Italian thing.
Yeah. But like, obviously oil. What kind of what other kind of spices? Like, I'm trying to think. Other than just salt and pepper. Like oregano.
Yeah, oregano.
Should I just a basic Italian seasoning?
Yeah, basically. A little bit of olive oil.
Of course, yeah. No, I'm just going to do it dry.
Good.
I was thinking about like doing it, like cooking the noodles and then tossing them in olive oil, then letting them chill in the fridge and then making the salad.
Okay.
I mean, would that make much of a difference? I've never made a pasta salad before, really.
I mean, yeah, you have. You just eat it hot. Any pasta,
Well, yeah, I know.
You let
Yes.
it cold will be pasta salad at that point.
Jackass.
And let me get jacket. I'm just like not reinventing the wheel over here.
But it's cold noodles. You're eating cold noodles.
Just you know what? Just don't even cook them. Just
raw.
Just raw.
So good in my mouth.
Good mouse for
I'm
you.
bleeding. Yeah, just a favor of 10. You want to do this?
Yeah, this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy
Tommy
Jacob's
Jacob's mixtape. All right, zoom in, get real fucking close to me, right here, just right here for 3 hours straight. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hi, happy Pride. Welcome back to
happy Pride. Yeah, happy Pride.
Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We're a movie review podcast. We talk about movies, who's in them, who made them, and then give it a rating at the end. The rating is arbitrary, but it's a nice way to just put an end to it. But before we do that, we always play a game.
You know what term you're looking for? To put a button on it.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Yeah.
Bullet point.
Or period.
But before we do that, though, we always play a game. At the end of each episode, we randomly generate 2 stars from connected stars at X, Y, Z. And then the following week, connect them via co-stars and other titles they were in. So if you didn't know, last week was Julie Andrews to Danny DeVito.
It was an interesting one to do.
Yeah.
I really don't know a lot of modern Julie Andrews to get to Danny DeVito type thing.
Yeah. Luckily, Danny DeVito's been in quite a lot of things. So
Yes, he has.
I think that helped.
Hey, do you want to start it?
Sure. I had Danny DeVito in L.A. Confidential with Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is in Les Mis with Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway is in Princess Diaries.
So we're using Anne Hathaway together.
Okay.
Because that was the easiest in.
Okay.
Was Julie Andrews in Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
But then I remember I saw a trailer of Anne Hathaway in a new movie coming out called The End of Oak Street.
Is that the trad wife one? Or is that a different one?
The what?
The trad wife one?
Trad wife?
Mm-hmm.
What is that word?
Trad wife is a term for a woman that believes in a traditional wife.
Oh, no.
So cooking, cleaning.
Like the Stepford Wives type thing. Or like,
kind of.
Yeah.
But so she's like, in this movie, she's an influencer that's like really promoting these kind of conservative ideals.
Is this an Anne Hathaway movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Conservative ideas of what a woman should do around the house, being i.e. the cooking, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. But then one day she, like, I don't know how, but she wakes up in like 1806 or whatever and is like...
Is this coming out soon?
Yeah, or it's out already, but like I can't remember.
No, the end of Oak Street is Oak Street gets ripped into like another space and dimension, and they're Ewan McGregor and the family, Anne Hathaway, the family are like fighting
That sounds
monsters.
cool.
And aliens. Yeah, it sounds like something that would be kind of weird and fun.
And just Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. And yeah, so Ewan McGregor in that, who's in Big Fish with Danny DeVito.
Who is he in Big Fish?
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, I don't remember him. I'm seeing Dumbo.
Well, it's kind of similar.
Is that what?
Yeah,
That's what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing.
I don't know. Danny DeVito, if I remember correctly, he's like, I haven't seen Big Fish in a really, really long time. But if I remember correctly, he is kind of like as Ewan McGregor is telling the story of his father, Danny DeVito's like the other narrator, kind of, or something.
So yeah, the Trad Wife one is a satirical thriller titled Yesteryear.
Yesteryear? Okay.
Yeah. So it's a horror movie about, she's preaching all these things until she's actually in the day and time It's in development with an Amazon MGM Studios.
Oh, so it's not out yet. And neither is The End of Oak Street, but The End of Oak Street has like a trailer for it and it's coming out really, really soon.
But yeah, those two, okay.
Yeah, I don't fully remember who. Let's see if I can find his character name, and then maybe we'll know. Amos Calloway. Yeah, I think he's just the ringmaster. Again, like, just did it again.
What's his name?
Danny DeVito?
Calloway?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to look up the character to see if it would help.
I just brought up Danny DeVito.
Well, and that outfit, so yeah, Dumbo. He is the ringleader in Dumbo, right?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
I never actually saw the live action one.
I never either. But he's the one that's the fire eater. He's like kidnapping the kids, right? Turning them into donkeys.
Oh, and
oh no, that's Pinocchio.
That's Pinocchio. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
All right, let's just move forward.
So at the end of the episode, we'll randomly generate 2 more people, and you can play along in the comments if you like. Anyways,
what a journey that was. All right,
brutal. So we are doing a movie today. We're doing a gay movie,
a lesbian movie.
Yeah, we did Brokeback Mountain last week. If you didn't listen, that was a fun watch. And the deal is that he picked a queer related movie, Brokeback Mountain, that I hadn't seen. I picked one that he hadn't seen, Blue is the Warmest Color. Came to the realization I had never seen Blue is the Warmest Color. I had read the graphic novel.
Yes, which I read the differences between the two, and it's interesting how it
tripped me
unfolds.
up. I kept waiting for the big thing to happen, and then it came to like an end, and I went,
"What?
Wait." So,
well, all right, really quick. Do you want to do a synopsis?
Oh yeah. A coming-of-age tale following a young woman's sexual awakening and first love with another woman.
Yeah.
So very in a sense of Brokeback Mountain, there are a lot of correlations of same-sex love in this and the coming
and discovering that
within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This though is 2 women instead of 2 men.
Yeah.
In France, so very different.
And also weirdly like stretched out across a period of time, which I didn't know that this was going to be, and definitely not as large of a time as Brokeback Mountain was.
No, but it still has that we time jump and see repercussions of decisions that we've made throughout the story. Both very grounded in a real reality. So there are a lot of parallels between the two, but then there's also the huge cultural difference between 60s and 80s America, Western culture.
And late 90s France.
And then late 90s into
2000s
in France, which also France has been known as a more
sexually liberated
culture.
Yeah.
So since the 1700s, basically.
Well, did you like it?
Yes. Mainly yes, a little bit no. On the walk over here, I don't know if you heard me laughing, but I had the thought popped in my head that I've said for a couple times. There are moments where it insists upon itself.
Oh, yes.
And it has definitely irked me in previous titles more than this one, but it's very long, a heads up. It is a 3-hour on the dot movie. It is not 2 hours and 45 minutes. It is
3 hours.
3 hours. And there are just the thing that insists upon itself is the director holds on to moments I feel like way longer than we should.
Yeah. Just
for a pacing thing. And I was worried. I was like, am I just like gotten to the point where my attention span is just completely shot?
No.
But it really is. We're holding on a shot for 10 to 15 seconds too long, but every shot is like that. Where they're really like, she's feeling very isolated and alone. You're like, okay, cool, yeah, I see that. All right, and then, okay, we're gonna hold on to it a little bit longer. Okay, I feel it, cool. And then you're like, okay, we got it. Like, we got the emotion, we got the feeling, let's move on to the next bit.
There's moments of this that, if I had legs, I would kick you. That's the name of it, right?
That one, the Rose Byrne one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the intimate close-up moments. And this entire film is just shot in close-ups.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's literally one lens, a zoom lens, and also the dialogue is filmed both at the same time. Like they didn't just do one angle and then redo it and do the other angle.
Yeah.
It was very honest, 2 cameras on the dialogue scene specifically. But no, it's close up. It wore on itself. But it also was a very bold artistic choice. I did enjoy it. But there's so much more in this film, but I feel like the big artistic choice of having that close up and having it linger on those shots that you're talking about deter from me wanting to even care to dissect anything further. Like,
elaborate a little.
There's a lot of things, like the way that food is represented in here. There's also a little bit of like classism, social class structure. Even just like sexuality itself is kind of, you get lost in just Adèle's own self, like, not hatred, but self-loathing.
Well, that's even the thing too. It's like from something that I came to the realization of, kind of, like sitting there and thinking about it. The two actresses in this were absolutely phenomenal. But
yeah,
the thing is that everyone talks about both of their performances, and I'm like, yeah, but I feel like Adèle obviously became our main character because we meet her first.
Well,
and then
we're following her constantly.
And we meet Emma, and I feel like there should have been a point where then Emma also became feeling like a main character. Mm-hmm. She kind of became Pixie Manic Dream Girl to Emma's sexual awakening. I feel like
Adèle's sexual awakening.
To Adèle's sexual awakening. I kind of feel like that Emma did take a back seat the entire time, and I was like, I kind of do wish we got more of Emma than just this kind of.
All right, yeah, we'll get into all that because I agree with you a little. I agree with you, but I see why it's not in there as well because of what he did. But yeah, let's talk about when it came out and all this stuff. Because also, I didn't realize this movie was 13 years old.
Yeah,
I thought it came out like 2020, 2019 or something.
It looks great.
Yeah,
like it looks.
So when I saw 2013, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
So Blue is the Warmest Color, first and foremost, based off a graphic novel by the same name. By Jul Maroh. I accidentally put.
Or Maroh.
The N could be an H.
It is an H.
My handwriting is not great in that particular moment. And I did pull out a quote about Jul's initial feelings towards.
Oh, yeah. Because, Jul, they are a French writer and illustrator of graphic novels specifically.
Yes. But wrote the graphic novel, which is it becomes pretty drastically different by the end because the end takes a much more, this ending, the ending of the film is much more bittersweet. The ending of the graphic novel is more tragic.
Yeah, very tragic, yeah.
And even to the point where Adèle's character's name is Clementine. Like there are differences.
And it's interesting. I'm wondering if maybe the director decided to change the name to Adèle because the actress's name is Dell to make it weirdly more intimate for her.
I kind of thought that too, and I was like, that would work.
Because this director is also
a piece of work.
Yeah.
To say it lightly. But yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, I got
graphic novel.
Yeah, so the graphic novel, that was
quote. You said you had a quote from her.
Oh, I was gonna get more to the director and everything, and then the graphic, the Jul's reception of the movie after seeing it for the first time.
Oh, you want to do that later?
Yeah, I want to do that after we do the writers and everything.
So we got writer and director. All right. Abdellatif Kechiche, who he's a French writer or a French director. A handful of just awards throughout France and whatnot. This is clearly his magnum opus so far, his best film that he's done. It won at Cannes the big prize. I forget what it's called. And he adapted this, and I found it weird.
He's not French, I don't think. I think he's Tunisian, right?
Oh, I know his name is Arabic, but maybe I looked at that wrong.
Yeah, no, he's from he's Tunisia.
He's Tunisian.
Yeah, he's from Tunisia.
Oh, okay. But I was really kind of taken aback because I honestly, knowing that this was a lesbian love story, ish, whatever, I would have expected this to be directed by a woman.
That crazy concept. That's a wild thought.
Which weirdly made me trepidatious going into this, but I knew that it had such like claim to fame, like accolades and whatnot. And I was like, okay.
Well, it has notoriety in a lot of different ways, which makes it just inherently interesting.
Exactly.
Because there's kind of someone from every camp. This movie really got talked about a lot, really discussed.
Did it actually, or were we just in that group of people when this movie was coming out?
Maybe,
because
I don't know.
Because at this time when this came out, I guess
I think this is a pretty iconic queer movie.
Fair. Okay.
That's in my mind. Like if you're going to talk about ones that really were talked about, Brokeback Mountain's in there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think this one is too, because of the kind of rawness to it, but then also the negative connotation that comes with it, and it's weird. It's like a very mixed bag of how people reacted to it.
And there was definitely some like in the reviews controversy stuff that I picked up about, how accurate is it through the lens of a male director.
Yeah, the male gaze versus the female gaze.
And it got praised where it kind of didn't do that too. Then there's other critics are like, no, it's still kind of there, and so forth and so forth. So it's like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Did you have anything more about Kechiche?
No.
Then second writer noted is Ghalya Lacroix, who she's just like credited for like additional dialogue, but she was also the editor for the film.
Oh, okay.
And she edited like 4 or 5 Kechiche's films.
Oh, okay.
So they had like a repertoire. And then we have starring.
Really just 2.
Yeah.
So Adele is played by Adèle Exarchopoulos.
Exarchopoulos. Capoulos.
I looked at I'm looking at the phonetic thing right now, and then the pool is in all caps.
Mm-hmm. Exarchopoulos.
Capoulos.
It's very fucking French.
Exarchopoulos. So yeah, Adele. We're just gonna call her Adele. Make it easy because that's all her character.
And like the only thing that I noticed that she's done for American cinemas is the voice of Inside Out 2.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's even the thing.
So she's pretty much an acclaimed French actress.
Yeah, especially with the director and Adele. I don't know enough French stuff.
Yeah.
To have much of an opinion about it.
But then we have who plays Emma, Léa Seydoux, who's been in quite a bit of American cinema.
Yeah, she's in Death Stranding.
She is in Death Stranding. She was also in The Lobster.
Yeah, she was.
She's in Spectre and No Time to Die.
Who is she in those? She another agent or
the end of the it's like the end of the Bond girl stuff, but like she like Bond. So Bond, by the end of it, he has 2 big loves: the one that breaks his heart, and then the one that he like. And she's like
after Vesper.
Yeah,
after Vesper.
This is after Vesper.
Okay.
She's introduced in Spectre, and then their relationship builds, and then No Time to Die happens.
Okay, I really gotta finish watching this.
Yeah, because you've only seen up to Skyfall, right? Javier Bardem.
No, I haven't even. I've seen clips of that.
Oh my god!
Because so I've only seen
up to Quantum Solace. You've seen Casino Royale and Quantum Solace.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know. I just got really checked out with it. I don't know. Like I think I made the mistake of watching Casino and Quantum back to back, so I John Wicked it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was just so much Bond in such a short time that it just kind of like.
Yeah, man, that's only like 3.5 hours of Bond.
That's a lot of Bond. Well, because the ups and downs, especially of Casino Royale, like there's a lot of twists and turns and betrayal and then and then and I was just like, okay.
And then Quantum of Solace has the most vicious ending.
Yeah, it was just like it just got exhausting. So maybe now
Skyfall gets like intimate.
Yeah,
like it's depressing. And then Spectre, they introduced Dr. No, the Spectre Society. But anywho, so yeah, that's Léa Seydoux. Seydoux. And yeah, it is an absolute powerhouse of performance from both of them. More specifically from Adele, like it just the amount of vulnerability that she explores in this film and portrays, and so quietly and not quietly too. Yeah, I was really just got to a moment where I kept pausing the film, just going, Why is it so long?
No, yeah, we broke it up into 3 parts.
And then it really got to a point where I was like, this is 2.5 hours of film and 30 minutes of women just moaning.
Yeah. That was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But so what I was thinking for this particular thing, we could do reviews and then I'll read once.
Okay.
That's what I'll do that. Did you have anyone else for cast or
No?
No.
That's no one else I freaking recognized. I mean, Leah Seydoux is the only one I did recognize.
Yeah.
Because she's been in films we've watched.
Yeah. Are you want to give our scores?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this has got a 7.6 on IMDb and an 88% tomato meter rating and an 84% popcorn meter rating. This is almost identical to Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Ratings.
I was actually thinking about changing it to something else. But what stayed me on it was how close the ratings were. I was like, okay, that just feels better. But on Metacritic, this has a 90 with universal acclaim, with 56 positive, 2 mixed, and 0 negative. With one of the, so I wrote a couple down, but one of the positive at 100 at Screen Daily by Jonathan Romney. What you get in these performances is an intelligence, emotional, and physically. When they come together as compulsively as they do here, what you get is something extremely rare. A film that catches the messy, hot complexity of life and love. You gotta really go down, because
should have just opened it up in a separate tab right where it was.
Yeah, I should have done that, and I didn't. With another positive, but with a 90 at Paste Magazine by Tim Grierson. A beautiful, wise, erotic, devastating love story. This tale of a young lesbian couple's beginning, middle, and possible end utilizes its running time to give us a full sense of 2 individuals growing together and apart over the course of years. It hurts like real life, yet leaves you entrapped by its power. And raptured by its power, pardon me.
Okay.
And there was one that I saw like last second, and I meant to write it down. I'm not going to be able to find it. But someone was writing about a comment about how naked she is, both like making a joke about the sex scenes, how naked she is.
Emotionally
literally,
and physically.
But physically also and emotionally, and her facial expressions and her just kind of
like what her vulnerability.
That made me think
and when I was talking about her vulnerability, part of it, I mean, being naked on film or just in general acting is a very vulnerable thing.
Yeah, it's very.
The closest I've ever had is just literally in a man thong. It's like just literally. Well, it was a dancing belt. That's it didn't leave much to the imagination. What is the lowest one score wise? I'm just curious.
So the lowest one is a 50 by Steve Persall at the Tampa Bay Times. Directors dotting on entwined limbs, thrusting pelvises, and oral simulation, all carefully posed and continued longer than necessary to get his point across. Racist beyond titillation to creepy voyeurism.
I mean, they were. I don't think that was very simulated. That didn't look very simulated to me.
Well, I mean, I thought it was for the sense of like prosthetic genitals and stuff like that. It was very simulated. So,
was there prosthetic genitals used in this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy! I just thought they were going at it.
Considering how, it felt. That's how it felt. But the thing I wanted to get to, so I took this little expert. Maroh called the scenes a brutal and surgical display, exuberant and cold, and so-called lesbian sex, which turned into porn and made me feel ill at ease. Saying the heteronormative laughed because they don't understand it and find the scene ridiculous. The gay and queer people laughed because it's not convincing and they found it ridiculous. And among the only people we didn't hear giggling were the potential guys too busy feasting with their eyes on an incarnation of their fantasies on screens. Maura added, as a feminist and lesbian spectator, I cannot endorse the direction took on these matters, but I'm also looking forward to hearing what other women will think about it. This is simply my personal stance.
All right.
I just wanted to pull that out because it is very rare in this kind of adaptation situation where you have the initial creator just come out so plainly say, this is what I think about it.
Yeah. I like it.
just so almost not boldly, because it's like, no, this is my story. I can say whatever the hell I want about this rendition of it, you know?
Well, and it's like, and I agree with Jul. I agree with them in a way, because there was a moment where I was watching and like, this feels very voyeuristic and not in a artistic way.
No, kind of like The Watchers, or what was that stupid ass Sydney Sweeney?
The voyeurs.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Man, that took no RAM in my head. Yeah, it did. Well, because it's also like, I don't know, it's so weird. It's I think the biggest kind of the thing about it is that this has become such a topic of the conversation of the movie, which feels like
it takes away from what the movie's actually doing.
Disenfranchising the movie and the statement you're trying to make. Like, yes, we get it. Like, especially because we see her very first sexual interactions with a man, and it is very lackluster and
still very kind of intimate, weird, like with as the audience.
Yeah, but it's like, it's supposed to, because you're making a statement about the fact that she's not really feeling this with this man, you know. But then
it's very performative on her part.
Yeah, and then you get the next one and her next sexual one, and that's her sexual awakening, and it's an explosion of all these feelings, and you're like, yeah, the same thing I was talking about. You're sitting on the scene so long that you're like, we got it. We do get it. Like, you know, we get the passion. We get we are seeing the sexual, and I'm not trying to be like funny, but the eruption. We're seeing this spill out of her, you know. Finally, she's having a physical connection with someone that it feels right. But then, like, a lot of, you know, and I read, there's so many of I went through all of them, and I read so many of them, and so many, like two of them were talking about how ridiculous it was getting to the swapping of the positions in that scene, you know, like in that, how long was that scene? It felt like an eternity.
13 minutes.
It was 13 minutes. That scene was 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. But it does get to a point where
you're literally watching a full-on sex scene. Like
it does feel like a porn at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, what are we doing here? And I just feel like it's such a bummer that this just has become such a focus on what this.
And I really think what he was going for was how they have together a sexual chemistry that is unequivocal to anything else that even Emma has ever experienced. Obviously, it's the second thing that Adèle's ever experienced, and it's been such a big awakening for her, and it's now kind of like an obsession for her. Also, at such a young age for Adèle, like that was one thing that made me a little bit uncomfortable. Was like, and I had to look up like what like 15. Consent laws were in France.
15,
and like. Why does it feel like I don't feel like I should be watching a teenager have sex? And
well, I mean, but at the end of the day, Adèle's 17 and Emma is 21,
maybe 22, 23. Their age difference didn't bother me. It was more of the fact that it was the depiction of graphic sex with a minor.
Oh,
like that's what bothered me.
Okay.
You know, it's like, I know, like, I enjoy, like, the raunchy comedies where, like, you know, they get, like, a boobs flashed and whatnot, and it's very objectification of the women, but there's never any actual, like, explicit scenes of them getting a blowjob or having, you know, I guess Fast Times on Ridgemont High did it a little bit. I don't know. There was just, like, a line where it just felt very voyeuristic of, like, a young woman.
I mean, I think that's just the scene in general.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the point. I mean, I didn't even really think about the whole teenager thing because one, it's culture. They're French.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's the thing. I was like, well,
I am so
like again, like they're a little bit more. The French culture is a little bit more sexually, you know, awakened or.
I really would love to talk to someone like a French, like person that has spent a lot of time, you know, like someone that grew up there, let's say, like, and it's like, is that the general vibe? You know, sometimes you like, you know, like I talk about LA and it's like you either got training day or I got I love you, man. Very rarely is there actually like a middle ground of like, this is kind of what it's like. Mm-hmm. It's either yellow or bright blue, you know? And I'm just like, I don't know, from where France looked kind of cool. Like it looked kind of like not France, you know, like wherever they were in France, but wherever they were seemed kind of, I was like, this is kind of a vibe, you know, like.
Oh yeah, well that's very. I think it's also reminiscent of the time period that it's representing too.
True.
But ultimately, what I feel like is that this movie is so. It's the blue is the warmest color is the American translation of the story.
Yes.
Of the title of the story. The French title is The Life of Adele, chapters 1 and 2.
Yes.
And that is just so much more fitting because what we are doing is following Adele's story. And you kind of talking about how I kind of wish it would have like went into like Emma's perspective a little bit more. I think that would have, that's not what the story's doing.
I'm not really saying perspective.
Okay.
That's not what I mean by that. That's not what I was trying to imply.
Okay.
What I mean by what I was trying to get to is there's just certain things. It is so fixated on Adele that it feels like she's either ignoring things or herself or not communicating. Like, we as an audience member, I don't really know what happened to Sabine.
Same.
And you're like,
it's not even brought up.
No,
it's just like,
yeah, and you're like, okay, so Adele's not asking about it. We're never getting any kind of indication. And at that point too, all it does, it makes Emma look bad.
Yes.
It makes Emma look like this kind of fuck boy.
But that's the setup of then Lise.
Yeah, but again, we as an audience aren't getting a lot of information, and it feels like Adele's also not
talking,
trying to.
She's not.
But we don't know that because we're just missing things. There's just things that just feel like they're missing from a narrative.
It's like this, like a weird, like memory story in a way. It's like what they want us to remember, or what she remembers.
Yeah, and I kind of wish because my point is a lot of these reviews were saying how fleshed out and how real the characters felt, and you're like, yes, Adele 100%, Emma in moments.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's Emma in chapters. There's the first time we meet her, and she's the
blue-haired girl,
fuckboy, L-word player type. And then we meet her as the struggling artist. You know, we have these like little pockets of her because even then, it's like the from the narrative standpoint, we know about Sabine, never find out what happened there because she just started hanging out with this teenager.
Even though she's been with Sabine for I don't know, maybe 2 years. As she's
very nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
And so okay, so that's fine. Then there's the entire big conflict with Elise, you know, and them spending a lot of time together and Adele feeling lonely and then her infidelity happening. But even that segment there, you're like, I personally, just me as the audience, I don't have an opinion about anything at this moment because I don't really know what's happening with Elise. I don't really know her saying that she's lonely. I didn't feel like there was also enough of a connection to justify. Maybe that's the point. I didn't really feel connected to anyone at that point or what was going on because then I was just like, and you're all just being stupid because it seems like neither of you are communicating anything with each other.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to fucking happen? And then, you know, there's the classic getting thrown out bit and it was a mistake. Well, it happened 2 or 3 times, but it was a mistake. And you're just like, digging your hole, girl.
Well, I think that also shows a level of like, and that's why I feel like this is so much more Adele's story because it's her emotional naivety, her emotional blocking. The girl needs therapy more than anything. She needs to learn how to just talk about her feelings, you know, and the self-loathing that she has through all.
She needs to learn to chew with her mouth closed. That's what she needs.
Was that bothering you?
Oh my fucking god.
Anyways, and I think the most wild scene in this entire film isn't the 13-minute sex scene. It's them meeting up at the cafe.
Yo, that was incredible. That was I really liked that scene. So much emotion, and then
I think okay, yeah. There's so much about that. I have the joke of like being the person like across the bar, so like,
dude, I said, I was like, yo, the waiter's watching from across the room, like hitting his buddy, like, the fuck is he doing over there? You know you would be too. Yeah. And you know you wouldn't be stopping it for a minute. You'd be like, How is this gonna play
Yeah,
out?
I'm afraid to go over there. Actually.
I don't want to go over there right now.
Okay, if we see any clothes actually come off, we need to go stop them.
We will have to interject at some point.
But let's see where it goes.
But maybe not, because we're in France. Yeah, I guess.
But yeah.
Sorry.
That's...
Sorry. That was really rude. But I've had Beauty and the Beast on the
Oh, fuck. But that scene, yes, that is like one of the biggest powerhouse performance scenes because it's followed up because it's the next time you see Emma after she throws out Adele. And you see Adele's kind of spiral, and apparently 3 years goes by or something.
Well, I did really appreciate that, how they did the time jump thing.
I couldn't follow it. I was so lost. I didn't even realize that more than a year had gone by until she said, "Oh, you got a 3-year-old." I was like, "Wait, when did we begin?" Like, I didn't pick up any of the time.
Well, that's
jumps.
what I'm saying. That's what I liked, because it wasn't on the screen 3 years later, or they didn't do anything crazy drastic. It was just in dialogue, and I only liked that because it was the life, it was the mundanity of everyday life.
And that's again what I'm talking about, is that this movie was so unpaced. I could care less to pick up on minor details and pick up and like look at themes like in a big way.
Really, considering it was the Adele story chapters 1 and 2, I think for the adaptation they should have broken it up into the 3 parts.
Yeah.
Of teenager, young adult,
yeah,
and do the chapter 1 end into chapter 2.
That would have, it's so much more clear. And also, sorry, I want to get into their scene and their performances, because you get a great performance of Adele getting thrown out and Emma blowing up at her. The frustration as an audience member, like, you guys just aren't fucking communicating. Like, that's why this is ending so poorly. You are clear, like, Adele truly believes you are fucking Lise, who's pregnant right now and is gonna like leave. That's why she's doing this. And now you're accusing her. Like, your guys' relationship began the same way that seems like your and Lisa's relationship is about to begin. Mm-hmm. You know, Emma is repeating the cycle of finding the next woman she wants to be with without leaving the woman that she's with
currently, which is kind of what our explanation of Sabine is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have that moment where they're together and it's that sexual chemistry that, and then it weirdly makes that 13-minute sex scene make more sense because of how they're just like magnets, just like gravitating towards each other. But like Emma's trying not to, because she actually has a family with Lise, but she gets there and she doesn't get a wine, she gets a coffee.
Yeah. You
know, she's trying to set boundaries, and Adele just keeps pushing.
Offering the wine, and
like she keeps like, and she's touching her, and she's, I will offer you, I'll pay you in flesh and blood. I'm sorry, I'm just joking. It was a bad joke, bad taste, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then Adele finally just starts sucking on her hand, and it gets really intimate, and Emma pulling away, and just like you see Léa Seydoux's amazing performance. It's like, this scene was just so amazingly acted. It was just like, that was one of the most captivating scenes in the entire fucking film.
Yeah.
And one of them, and very uncomfortable too, But you get from that, you do finally get Emma's perspective in a way, is but the end of it is Emma has actually found the world that she wants, because Adele didn't fit into her world.
No. And
you could tell that Emma
was a pretty girl.
Yeah.
That was kind of what, I mean, kind of just what it seemed. And then obviously it blossomed to something else because they were together for as long as they were. But it's even like the hanging on the scene thing, like even like, I was thinking about the bar scene, she goes out with her friend to the gay bar. Do you remember, did she see Emma at that point, or did she just see a group of lesbians? Because I don't recall.
She saw Emma up on the balcony.
That was at the gate. That was the lesbian.
But the first time she saw her was just in passing on the street.
I know. But I'm saying, when they were at the gay bar and she decided to leave and follow those women, did she notice that Emma was there?
Oh, no, not yet.
We just did. She just saw a group of lesbians and was like, "Oh, I kind of want to go see where they're going."
Yes.
And then she runs
into. I remember correctly.
That's how I remember it too.
Because you don't even see Emma in the bar until Adele crosses the screen and you see Emma come out of the bathroom.
Yeah. But it's like that whole scene. I was like, I really like what they're doing here because that's such a great like representation of finding this community. You know, she goes into, she sees this, she's in this gay bar, so okay, it's a homosexual bar, but over here she sees a group of women, gay women. Oh, okay. So then she follows them into this other completely different vibe kind of place, and then she's kind of wandering in there, kind of like the lost lamb, you know, and seeing women make out and all these things, you know, all this like kind of this culture that she hasn't really
and a lot of different representations of lesbian women as well.
Yeah,
you know?
but like you know, you're following her through this kind of new ground, and I was like, this is kind of cool. But then it just overstayed its welcome. It was on there forever until we finally have Emma and her meet,
and then that's a forever.
But at least there's dialogue, you know.
Fair, yeah.
At least we're getting to know each other. We're learning the characters a little bit more. We're kind of getting more of an idea of what Emma's like, and she is kind of this little playboy type kind of.
There is a thing that made me wonder in that scene in the cafe about Emma's full-on honesty, or if she's just telling Adele what Adele may want to hear or something. Because there was a reflection, or I saw a parallel with the dinner that they have with Adele's parents, and how the dad is like, "Do you have a boyfriend that takes care of you?"
That's actually I liked that scene a lot, because the way that's written too, it does give you the idea of a possible moment where the parents know and they're cool with it. And then that question's asked, and you go, "Oh!" And it was just, I was like, "That's really interesting."
Because you have Emma's parents who are completely like, they kiss in front of her parents, and they're completely like, "Yeah." You know, again, that's like the themes of like the difference of a social structure as well. You know, Adele's family very much poor, Emma's parents very much well off. Brain. But when he asks her that, how quickly, because I mean she's probably used to it, you know, like hiding, you know, but how quickly she knows just to say the things that the people that are inquiring want to hear. And there is like the same just kind of like look in Emma's eyes of this complacency of just like, I know what needs to be said here.
Well, it's even like the dinner at Emma's parents too. The oyster thing, I almost kind of felt like it was a manipulative power move. Like, your partner has very explicitly talked about how little they like shellfish. And then you kind of invite them over to dinner when the main course is like one of the most kind of horrendous shellfish dishes you can do if you don't like shellfish. Live oysters, like that's wild. And then she's like, "Oh, I forgot." And I was like, Did you though? How do you forget like that? Like, you're like, "Oh yeah, I would like you to meet my new partner Adele. Have come over. Oh yeah, we'll have her come over for oysters. Perfect." Like, really, you didn't go, actually.
I mean, that's it, and so.
But that's also the missing information thing I was talking about.
Is it missing information, or is it information we're actually being given just because we see Emma is now she's gonna cheat on Sabine with Adele, and then Adele is just there, Sabine's gone. We're like, okay, whatever. And then we have her kind of like forcing all of her like artsy friends on Adele and whatnot, and Adele feels uncomfortable. And at that party, I felt so bad for Adele because Emma literally was not. It's like your girlfriend that's putting all of this together and hosting and like doing all of this stuff, and you're literally just paying attention to this other girl the entire time.
Well, actually, it is. It's one of those movies too. The more we like kind of discuss it, it kind of like now too is like Emma and Adele. Emma had this sexual magnetism, obviously, with her, but it kind of did feel in moments that Adele was her plaything.
Yeah, exactly.
Being the younger woman and all this kind of stuff. Because even then we meet the actor guy who seems to show a genuine interest just in Adele as a person more so than anyone else at the party. Yeah. And then, that leads us into our ending, and it's like and even then it's like, that scene you were talking about at the
dinner
restaurant.
The restaurant, the cafe,
that one. It's even like that is showing a lot of Emma's growth because she wants to fuck Adele more than probably just as much as it seems like that's very
because
clear.
Even Adele was like pointing out, is it just boring? Is it
she was crossing so many fucking lines.
I fucking know what I'm talking about.
She was crossing so many lines. I was like, yo, you're not making yourself look good here.
Well, and then even sorry, do you have more thoughts with where you were going?
No, just it's just interesting because there is actually this level of growth too, and then it's one of those movies. The more two things. It's one of the movies. The more you think about it, the more you kind of see and you kind of start picking up on like the little cues and everything. So like us talking about it does make it feel a little more flushed out. But I do also, just in this, I've been saying this on here for years, I do give a little more slack to when it's not a language I natively speak, because I might be missing out on certain nuances.
And I hate the French language. The sound of it.
Dude, I was having that weird thing where I was reading it and I was actually like hearing it in English. There's a couple of times I thought they were speaking English.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of like
because
words.
There's also of a phonetical similarities between our two, like table, double, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But my brain would just like, I'm like, do I understand French? Oh, oui, oui.
It's like the table. Oh, I'm getting it.
Table.
But so another like, and then a big thing is like we only, and it's not unreliable narrator because we're not hearing it like being told through Adele. It's like a third party.
We're
like,
a fly on the wall to the situation.
But it's so much. It is a Adele story because we have the parallel of her life of, the way that she's in class at the beginning to when she's a teacher. There's just, and it's like at some point I'm like, is this really necessary? Because now what all you're doing is you're making this weird commentary on, like, also every time that she said she's a teacher, the way that everybody reacted was just like, oh, you're a teacher?
Well, that's going into the social construct stuff. But I mean, it's also like, I thought, but that was also just like Adele's acting too. It's like, we meet, when she first sees Emma and then the blue theme throughout the entire thing. There were moments I was like, okay, we get it.
Blue is the warmest color.
The French like blue, apparently, because everything in this fucking city is blue. Got it. But it was just so funny because I didn't really notice it until we met Emma, and then I saw it like popped. I was like, oh my God.
Because it's a very pale blue. It's a blue that stands out in front of blue.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That was just a cool thing. And then but also you're watching it for 3 hours. Anything you're watching for 3 hours kind of loses its magic a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and then you got like the passion for them is gone once the blue is gone with Emma.
Well, because then the blues become settled once she's gone too. I noticed that. I was like, once their breakup happens, the blue is still there, but it's way more just kind of this. And I kind of took that as like a representation of the aching feeling that Adele is feeling, this kind of broken heart that won't go away. Because even then, her love for teaching kind of goes away.
Yeah, exactly.
And Adele does a great job of acting that sadness, but not being like, it wasn't this loud crash out.
It's like her first scene coming in to teach the kids. It's just she's just sharp and
she's very short, and you can just tell that she's just become very broken.
She's lost her passion. She's lost her heart.
Yeah.
There actually is a phrase for that in French that I can't remember. There's a like losing. It's a passionate thing, but it's like passion isn't a strong enough word. For it.
Well, it's one of those like every those very specific things like culturally that have
a word.
For this thing, like that,
exactly.
And then it's like a long explanation in English, but they're like, this word.
The German have
it means all that. It's just like this whole thing. You're like, okay, what are we at time wise?
Like 48.
Okay,
we're at a good time. I mean, probably soon be wrapping it up.
Well, I was gonna say, do you want to start talking about the ending now?
Yeah, I mean, because like the difference of the endings between the graphic
just
novel,
all of it.
Yeah,
like first and
foremost.
I mean,
I do. It's like her coming in with the blue dress. It's like. Adele needs to move on, and I think this is kind of like her realization that she still thinks that there is something that could happen with her and Emma.
Well, I think that something I thought was really interesting too is the 3 women portrait thing, and I thought that was amazing too because they keep showing it, but they never really show it. But I'm assuming Sabine, Adele,
Lise,
yeah, and I was like, this little fucker.
Just that's all of it. She's just been they've all just been muses for her art.
Yeah, and I was just like, man,
like a fucking artist. Dude.
I know, dude. If I had someone
insufferable
like that,
artist,
I would be like, I'd be like, you need to stop painting me.
Yeah,
like personally, or fine, paint me. Do not put it up in your galleries. If you need to do that for your own personal shit, fine. I don't care. Do not fucking put me on the wall with your other with the other. It was like that's crazy to me.
The journey of her sexual awakening.
Yeah, dude, plastered on the wall for the whole the balls of that woman. to show these other people's like naked vulnerability just so casually like that. I was just like,
Well, I mean, they don't really discuss it, but I would assume that she had the proper like, like I'm gonna paint you naked. I'm gonna put you in my gallery.
yeah, when they were together, probably.
Yeah.
She got an invite to this, and there was no, again, but that's also, the way this entire thing is written is you have to fill in the gaps a little bit and do that, because
well,
we
also,
know she got invited, but
that's
we don't
also,
know.
with French culture as well, with art as well.
Yeah. I mean, you also have to keep in mind there's a cultural difference in how things are run from here and there. But, yeah, like she does go in there, like you were saying, she does go in there, and it kind of seems like this is our final hurrah at seeing if maybe
she's surrounded by the art of the woman that she loved and all of the love that she's getting, and also the uncomfortability of the place of that dinner party is back again.
Yeah,
and
she's really out of her element. She doesn't, and I don't mean this in a cruel way or anything. She really doesn't belong in this particular world. Well,
she even like states at the beginning, like when she's talking about like she's really enjoying this book, but she has a little bit more intellectuality than this boy that she's seeing. But she also then admits that when the teacher starts kind of like going too far into the in-between stuff, that she kind of gets checked out and she just wants to enjoy the story.
Yeah, she likes her imagination not being stifled.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's actually a really great scene too. Her and Thomas, I think, talking about reading, like in literature. Mm-hmm. That was also a really great scene.
And then so you get this, and then like with her and Emma's bringing up like Sartre and all of this like philosophical stuff. You can just tell that Adele isn't on the same wavelength, like, intellectually as Emma is. Like
not with that.
Yeah.
Not with that particular world.
Exactly.
But it's basically what it's happening though. It's a parallel with what was happening with Thomas. Mm-hmm. But now Adele is Thomas.
Exactly. Yes.
It's just showing that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was just sort of conversation.
And then that the actor that she, the guy that had interest with her at the dinner party bumps into her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well I'm in real estate now. Politics of acting is just a lot of crap. I still do some stuff now and then, but I need to do and he."
That's another great conversation too. When he's talking about working in LA and New York, he's talking about his experience in New York. That's another great dialogue scene. Just
and it's like there's it's like he is out of his element with these people as well.
Yeah, and we actually never find out what he's doing there, like who he knows, or he just seems like the friend of a friend that gets invited to the thing. And he's like, sure, whatever.
He had a friend that was a painter artist while they went to school together. While he went to they went to art school together. He was an actor. They were
in fine arts.
And he's like, but like, and there's just so much more. Like he is more in a related way of like being like who Adele is. It's not like these really intellectually snooty.
Or they're more down to earth.
Yeah.
Like one of the reviews, something they said was something about her, Adele, being the most remarkable woman.
Yeah,
because it's like,
because anybody is remarkable if you break them, if you follow,
exactly. It's like she is just at the end of the day just a person. She's an average person.
Yeah,
but she's really beautiful in a lot of different ways. And I think with the ending being really interesting, she goes out, it's like screw this, basically, has her final conversation with the wife or whatever, Elise. Walks out to have a cigarette, walks that way. Then Tom, sorry, that's the other guy. What's his name?
I can't remember.
The actor guy comes out, and looking for her, but then he runs the opposite direction. And I was like, that's really cool, actually, because it's not now forcing a narrative of now she's a heteronormative narrative that now she's going to be, since it didn't work out with her girlfriend phase person, now she's going to be with a man. It does open up though that maybe they will connect, maybe they won't. But they did have these couple little moments of connection, just from human to human. There was nothing overly romantic or sexual about it.
She's going to continue walking in her direction while other people are going to be searching for her.
Yeah. And they may meet again, they may not. Yeah. But I was like, that was a really nice, like, kind of bittersweet way to end it. And it was not very cathartic, but that's how first love goes a lot of the time.
Yeah. And that's really what this is. Like, it's a story about a young woman's first love and, heartbreak. It was weird. Like, I actually saw a lot of my first loves for, like, me in Adele.
I don't think that's weird. I think a lot of people,
yeah,
just the raw emotion of it. But then, so the question is, graphic novel ending, where Clementine, the Adele character, from the heartbreak of the breakup, becomes addicted to pills and goes on a complete crash out. Unlike Adele, Clementine does do a crash out, and then long story short, ends up basically dying from
An overdose, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
She gets hospitalized for it, but it's too far gone.
Yeah.
They can't save her.
And the graphic novel is actually all told through Emma reading
The
Clementine's diary.
Yes, but also another big theme change from the movie and the graphic novel is that there is more blatant homophobia in the graphic novel, even to the point of coming to violence, in the sense of when Emma and Clementine are discovered by parents.
Oh yeah.
That's when the throwout scene happens, and it gets hate crime-y.
Yeah, but yeah, because there was like when they were lying in bed together in
I got nervous.
Adele's
Parents'
bed.
house.
Yeah, I was like,
nervous.
oh my god, and then it didn't happen. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
I was really surprised.
Okay.
There were certain things I thought were going to happen
Okay.
in this. It didn't.
we're
It was
okay.
even, like,
Everything's okay.
In the film too, like the primary homophobic moment in this is with Adele's friends.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
weirdly like. Also, Adele's like keeps giving them explanations. It took her way longer to crash out on them.
Oh
than it
yeah,
would've
when
taken
she
me.
started throwing punches at her friend,
I was like, oh,
they do it.
I would have done this 3 questions ago.
Yeah.
because like none of your goddamn business, you know.
Yeah.
No, but but then the change in the narrative of the Adele Clementine character dying, basically in more lame terms, from a broken heart because of the breakup causing this spiral out into drugs and alcohol. What do you feel is the more? Do you like the bittersweet ending, or do you like the more tragic narrative idea?
I think the tragic narrative idea is kind of like done a lot.
So you think kind of leaving it open ended?
I like the quietness of this because it makes it feel more like
less indefinite.
yeah,
like
well,
death.
And and also there's something like the dramatic sense of, and we see Adele spiral out, but not in a, I'm gonna go end myself type of way.
Yeah.
And I think, and what happens more often than not is people do end up doing what Adele did in the film.
Quietly.
Yeah, I think
quietly resign.
the big explosion of getting into drugs and alcohol after heartbreak, I think that is a old kind of like trope that's become super romanticized.
That's actually fair. It's like, yeah, that can happen, but that usually is an underlining thing of something else.
Someone
going on.
they have like a lot of issues.
How do I say it without saying it? Someone that's more, and I am saying as someone that has spiraled out incredibly hard and absolute lunatic status. It is, yeah. Adele's feels more in lieu of what a regular person would do. Then that's very interesting. I never really thought about that. That the idea of the go take pills and drink a bottle of bourbon after a breakup thing is so used that it is really overly romanticized.
Well, and it's become romanticized to the point where some people feel like that's actually
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's a dangerous thing to say.
Especially to.
I'm blown away. I made it out of mine.
Yeah. And I think it's also a very tricky thing to navigate when you're making literature for queer people who already feel so ostracized in a way where you kind of tell them that like, well, your first big heartbreak, you're supposed to have a big binge like this. You know, they're already vulnerable enough as it is.
Well, but even I think that if you even strip away the queer thing, just young people in general.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Why is that taught in high school?
Yeah, hey.
It's the easiest thing for Shakespeare to read by Shakespeare, but holy hell.
Yeah, the 18-year-old met a 14-year-old and now they're killing themselves. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so it's like and I don't ever want to diminish the queer aspect, especially in a queer story, but it's like the big thing that is just also to remember is we're all people, and especially young people, gay, straight, whatever. Young people, it's hard. It's really hard to grow up, and then especially your first heartbreak. Yeah. God damn, it is. It is the end of the fucking world. But like this one is just a different story because there is the queer element, but also it's like she was 17 and they were together for a pretty long time and went through a lot.
At least what? Okay, so at least 5 years, maybe 4 to 5 years.
They were together, but they've known each other at this point.
Well, by the end of it,
They've known each other like 8 years.
yeah. So let's just say like it's been 3 years since the breakup. If at the end of it,
Well, yeah. So she was a teenager when they met, and she's in her mid-20s now. Let's just to make it a bubble, just to kind of give an idea. But yeah, think about yourself at 17, and then think about yourself at 25.
I do got to give credit also real quick to like the hair and makeup artist for making Adele actually age.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying, the subtlety of it.
Yeah.
You know, like they actually did a really good job of like, and there's some sort of years like, well, now she wears glasses, you know, but like it worked.
Yeah.
And even her wardrobe becomes more mature.
Well, it's like, then like when she starts pulling back her hair, like it's like it weirdly makes her look more in her mid-20s.
Yeah.
And Adele, I looked up the actress Adele. She was in her she was 20.
She was born in 93.
Yeah, she was 20 when this film was released. So like probably filming it at 1920.
Yeah.
Also, okay, really quick. I guess we didn't get into it, but I'll just quickly say it. Apparently, the filming conditions for this film were awful.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually go on to why he was such a douche.
Yeah. It was supposed to be only like 2.5 months of filming, and it turned into 5 months of filming. And cast and crew were talking about like really like unhealthy like
a bunch of people
working
quit.
conditions. Yeah.
Well, did you hear what he said about all that too?
No, I didn't.
I was reading about this kind of very just briefly. Like I didn't really get too into it because you're also like it's now just become such commonplace for directors to be fucking pieces of shit.
Not anymore. It used to be.
The stories coming out. And not excusing it, but you're just like, well, it feels like there is an egomaniac that
dude, Stanley Kubrick? Come on.
Yeah, like they go kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's more when you hear about a really cool director that you're like, oh, that's cool. No, but even like he was saying something about basically paraphrasing about he didn't really want the movie to come out anymore because of all of the allegations and the things being said about him were sullying the film and would distract from the message he was. And all it did to me was just go, so they're all right.
Yeah, exactly.
By you saying that right there,
you were a piece of shit.
You were a pain in the fucking ass to deal with.
Well, it's like apparently there was like 70 hours worth of footage to go through, and he cut it down, or him and what's her name?
Yeah,
Lacroix cut it down to 3 hours. I'm just like, what? Where are you filming? How many times did they have sex? But then you also have Adele and Leia, who both said that he was really hard to work with, but
they really liked the finished product. Right?
They were very proud of the work that they did, and they wouldn't change it they wouldn't take it away.
Yeah. So that's like,
So and he also apparently had some sexual assault allegations part onto him that were dropped by France.
So I didn't read that. I just read him about.
Yeah. All right, we're a little over an hour. We need to wrap it up. Where are you feeling on this?
I don't know. I really don't, because it's like,
I think the only thing that hurts this film, and it really fucking hurts it, is its pacing and those extended shots. And those extended shots is what's hurting the pacing. I think this movie,
even going into those really that like 13-minute sex scene, and then even showing more of them after that, which you're like, why do we have 3 of these fucking things?
Yeah, I really do think you could cut 30 minutes out of this film, and it would feel so much better.
No, I think I was actually with that too, because of how elongated the shots are.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like a hard job.
No.
And I don't even...
And I think it would get the exact message across that he's trying to do. And I think the intimacy of this film, like I said, all close-ups. Well, it's like all shot with like a long films.
But that's what I'm saying too. It's like in the bar scene specifically. So the wandering around, that you could take off easily 15 seconds somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. Then there's her actually talking to Emma, and then once Emma leaves, and then that pull shot away of looking down at her and the isolation and feeling of loneliness. Great, got it, cool. Trim 15 fucking seconds off of it. Mm-hmm. Just trim it down a little bit. Like it doesn't need it does. That's where it becomes this kind of feeling like pretentious, insisting upon itself.
Yes. Yeah.
And it really checks.
Look at this film I'm making.
Yeah, like it makes you.
I am an artist.
And it makes you, as the audience, it's like I'm not sitting there going like, look at this. I was about 5 seconds ago, and now I'm like, okay, I want to move. I'm really curious what's gonna happen with Adele. Can we keep moving it on so I can get the story of what the trials and tribulations she's going to go through.
But on top of that, it is an absolutely grounded, amazing story.
It is, but it's just
That's why
it's pacing. It really is.
That's why I was like, I feel like, because if the pacing and everything was there, I would say it's a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pacing and everything weirdly still brings it down to a 4. I think that's how good of a movie it still is.
I thought you were going to say a 4 or 5.
No, a full point.
Really?
A full fucking point.
I kind of agree with that.
Like, it's that rough. Like, it's that good of a movie that if you really were to do that, it would be a damn near perfect movie.
Well, and then I think and coming off of the Brokeback Mountain thing, only in the similarities of what we were talking about, especially with the jumping in time and everything like that. It's like Brokeback Mountain was, 2 hours and 15 something like that. And we went over 20 years. Yeah. We went over what we roughly said, maybe 8 years in this. Yeah. 3 hours on the dot. Like, the pacing of Brokeback Mountain did not feel. No. And even then, too, Brokeback Mountain, saying in a similarity with that, is the fact that we are getting so much dialogue as a fly on the wall. Yeah. We are missing a lot because we're not sitting there seeing every conversation with every character. We are just getting the reactions to things.
Getting enough information to know what we need to go to next.
Yes. And then and
there's enough to be, like I was talking about, a lot to be inferred, that you just got to take that inferment and just make it, that's the reality. Yeah. Because it makes the most sense.
Well, even with the ending of Brokeback Mountain being like, was it a hate crime? Was it not a hate crime? Yeah. You know, and you can have an entire dialogue about that. And then even, but the thing about this one too, Blue is the Warmest Color, is, again, the ending is very, okay, what do you think? Where do you think, you're curious where Adele is going next?
Jack, I swear.
And you think, like, you hope she's doing well, you know?
Yeah.
But it opens up to this.
You hope this is actually a catharsis for her to finally move on with her life.
And that was a good move of not killing her to get that, and then also not letting her leave with new guy, because I feel like that would have really, really diminished the queer aspect and made it feel like a weird phase that she went through.
But I mean, that's also, there's one thing that I talked about where it's like, bisexuality erasure is a really big, like, topic in the queer theory community, you know? And if anything, it's like, if he was like, well, maybe we can get coffee sometime. And she's like, sure. Okay. And then leaves on her own. You know, them leaving together is, I just don't think that's good for a narrative choice. No. But I don't think it's just maybe because we've already had, like, maybe it's just a phase thing because she's sleeping with a dude while she's with Emma.
I've known so many lesbians that sleep with men.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that lesbians still will sleep with a man.
It's a different.
If they just don't want to date the man. So then it introduces, like, oh, maybe she's just bisexual. You know, it wasn't a phase.
No, but I just also think that, like, if they had led more into, like, the fact that they left it so open-ended on will they not meet up again was just the best way to do it, because then it just leans.
And really the opposite direction, saying that they're never gonna see it the same cross path type thing.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's open to the narration. But it was just like I felt like it would have leaned too much into, oh, he will fix everything.
Oh yeah, that's fair too. Yeah,
that's what I was worried about when they had them talking about in the thing of, like, oh, now Adele is so shy.
Needs a man to fix her.
She needs any romantic thing to feel complete and whole and just not herself. But then I was like, good. She left on her own, smoking her cigarette, going, well, fuck. On her own, alone. Yeah. She is now alone. She now knows that this chapter, this thing with Emma is closed.
Hopefully.
You know.
We know. Hopefully we're getting that.
And then someone else was pursuing her to have another, you know, it's like just opens it up to this bittersweet, like, she's going to be okay. This sucks right now, but she'll be okay. You know.
We all get through it.
Yeah.
It takes time.
So.
But 4.
Cool. I'm cool with that. I gotta get my pen.
Pen.
I randomly generated 2 people. What do you think about Liam Neeson to Winona Ryder?
Something tells me that they might be in a film together, but
we can find out.
Yeah. Liam Neeson to Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
You want to tell them what we're doing next week?
Next week is our 300th episode. So, in honor of the 300th episode, we are going to do the movie 300. Because why the fuck not? And it'd be a nice, turn from this really intense queer block we just did.
Yeah, just a very silly, historically inaccurate graphic novel adaptation, if you don't know what it is, about the 300 Spartans that fought off the Persian invaders because they didn't like the idea of slavery unless they were the ones doing it.
Exactly.
Basically.
It is a weird thought of I'm going to romanticize and glorify the Roman Empire.
It is
It's Frank Miller, right?
Yeah, like the idea that he's like, I'm going to look at ancient Greece and romanticize, which I guess it happens a lot. But
it does.
But it's also, I think it's because it's such a stylized.
I'm going to masculinize it.
Young men. These Greek men. But then, then there's the whole like Persian where they like turn them into straight up goblins.
It's all right, we'll talk about it next week, though, guys. Yeah,
spooky Persian people. Like it's gonna be wild. And even Xerxes is he? I can't remember. No, I don't think.
Let's not worry about it. We'll talk about it next week.
All right.
We got
follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all that to find where our link tree. Share with your friends. They like movies.
Yeah.
We hope you have a fun, safe Pride. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Jeez.
That was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. Were you worried about it?
No. Not at all. It was more of a... I really actually didn't really like it.
You didn't?
I did, but I didn't.
What?
I